Welcome back to the power of possibility. You know, we always like to kick off a new year with something practical and inspiring.
Right.
So today we're looking at a Forbes article
Ooh, Forbes.
all about New Year's resolutions,
Okay.
but not the typical lose weight or read more resolutions.
I was going to say.
This is specifically for small businesses
I like it.
who are looking to make 2025
Yeah.
their best year yet.
Their best year yet.
I love that. So if you're ready to really crush it in 2025,
Absolutely.
then keep listening because we are going to break down all the best advice
Right.
from this Forbes article so you can level up your business this year.
Love it. I'm excited.
Me too.
What was the first thing that jumped out at you?
Well, the first thing that I thought was really interesting was this advice to revisit your business plan.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Because so many people, I think, treat a business plan like a one-time thing.
Yeah, you write it up.
You write it up.
To get the loan or whatever.
Yeah, to get the loan to get started.
Yep. And then it goes in a drawer.
And then you never look at it again.
Exactly.
But this article really stresses that your business plan should be a living document.
Oh, I like that. A living document.
So it should be something that you're constantly checking back in with,
Okay.
measuring your progress against, and adjusting as needed.
So it's a roadmap, but it's flexible.
Yeah, it's like a GPS for your business.
I love that analogy.
It helps you stay on course and, navigate any of those detours or unexpected roadblocks.
Especially because, every year things change, right?
Constantly.
And your business is probably changing.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, a business plan checkup.
Yes.
Every year.
And especially as we're starting a new year.
Love it.
That's a perfect time to just sort of take stock
Absolutely.
of where you've been, where you're going, and if you need to make any course corrections.
I love that. And kind of going along with that idea of staying on course.
Yeah.
The article talked a lot about this whole idea of learning
Yes.
and adapting all the time.
So you've got to gather the intel,
Okay.
not just on your own performance, but also what your competitors are doing.
Ooh, that's interesting.
What are they doing well? What can you learn from? What mistakes are they making that you can avoid?
So many people, I think, get so focused on what they're doing that they forget to pay attention to what's going on around them.
Right. You've got to know what's happening in the industry.
Absolutely. Keep your finger on the pulse of things.
Yeah. What are the trends?
Yes. What are customer needs changing?
Exactly, because all of that is constantly evolving.
And the article really emphasized that because if you're not informed, you're going to miss out on opportunities.
You're going to fall behind.
And you could even run into problems that you could have avoided.
Exactly. So stay informed, stay ahead of the game.
Oh, okay. I love that.
So let's talk about everybody's favorite topic.
Ooh, I know it's coming.
Money.
Money, money, money.
Or more specifically, mastering your cash flow.
That's the lifeblood of any business.
Yeah, right. Because, of course, we all know the goal is to have more money coming in than going out.
Right.
But the article gave some really practical tips for actually achieving that.
Yeah, because that's the thing, right? Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
But how do you actually make it happen?
Yeah, and I think these tips will be really helpful for our listeners.
Yeah, I think so too. What did they highlight?
Well, first of all, they cited a study that found nearly a third of small businesses fail because of cash flow problems.
Wow. That's a scary statistic.
It's a lot.
It is.
So it's not something to be taken lightly.
So what can our listeners do to avoid becoming part of that statistic?
Well, one of the biggest things is creating a cash flow forecast.
Oh, a forecast.
So it's like budgeting,
Yeah.
but for your business.
Mm-hmm.
You're projecting your income and your expenses.
Right. So you know what to expect.
So you can see if there are any potential shortfalls coming up.
And adjust accordingly.
And be prepared.
That makes sense.
Another tip was to stay on top of your invoicing. Don't let those invoices pile up.
Get that money.
Get them out promptly and follow up.
Absolutely follow up on late payments.
Don't be afraid to ask for what you're owed.
Yes, I love that.
And then we talked about inventory.
Oh, inventory. That's a tricky one.
That can be really tricky for a lot of small businesses.
Yeah, because you don't want to have too much.
Right.
But you also don't want to run out.
Exactly. It's a balancing act.
It is.
So the article recommended using inventory management software.
Okay.
Or even just a simple spreadsheet.
Yeah, keep track of it somehow.
Yeah, to track your stock levels and your reorder points.
Okay, that makes sense.
And don't forget the power of negotiation.
Oh.
You can often get better terms with your suppliers.
Absolutely.
If you just ask.
Don't be afraid to shop around.
Exactly. Compare prices and be clear about your needs and what you're willing to pay.
Yeah, because the worst they can say is no.
Exactly. And you might be surprised
All right.
at what you can get.
Okay. I'm ready for the next one. What's next?
All right. So this next one is Something I personally get really excited about. Technology.
Oh, technology, yes.
And the article talks about how tech, particularly
Fintech.
can be such a game changer for small businesses.
In so many ways.
It really has leveled the playing field.
Absolutely. And it's getting easier and easier to use all the time.
Absolutely. They specifically mentioned platforms like FreshBooks and Paychex Flex.
Oh, yeah, those are good ones.
Which can really streamline all those tasks.
Yeah, like accounting payroll.
All that stuff that nobody wants to do.
Benefits administration, all that stuff.
But it has to get done.
It does.
And it's so much easier now.
Absolutely.
And it frees up your time so you could focus on growing your business.
Which is the whole point.
Exactly. And even that dreaded task of applying for a loan.
Ugh, I hate that.
So much easier now.
Really?
Thanks to online lenders and digital applications.
Oh, wow.
No more hauling boxes of paperwork
That's amazing.
to the bank.
I remember those days.
I do too.
Not fun.
Not fun at all.
So we've talked about some great resolutions for small business owners.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff in there.
But now comes the hard part, right?
Yeah, how do we actually make these things happen?
How do we make sure these resolutions don't just fizzle out by February?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all well and good to have these big, ambitious goals.
Right.
But if we don't have a plan for actually achieving them,
They're just dreams.
they're just going to stay dreams.
Exactly. So let's get down to brass tacks here.
Yes. Let's get practical.
What did the Forbes article recommend for making these resolutions stick?
Well, one of the key things they emphasized was the importance of setting specific, measurable goals.
Oh, specific and measurable.
Okay. And they actually cited a study
Oh, wow.
that found that people who set specific goals are 30% more likely to achieve them
Wow, 30%, that's significant.
than those who set vague goals.
That makes sense though, right?
It does.
If you don't know exactly what you're aiming for.
It's hard to hit the target.
Exactly. So instead of just saying, I want to improve my marketing, you need to be more specific.
Give me an example.
Okay, so you could say something like, I want to increase website traffic by 15% by the end of Q2.
Okay, so you've got a number, you've got a timeline.
Exactly. It needs to be concrete and measurable.
I like it.
And realistic, too.
Oh, that's a good point.
The article cautioned against setting goals that are just unattainable,
Right.
given your current resources and time constraints.
Don't bite off more than you can chew.
Exactly. Start small and build from there.
So break those big goals down
Yes.
into smaller, more manageable steps.
Baby steps, right.
Baby steps.
That's how you eat an elephant, one bite at a time.
One bite at a time. I like that.
And create a timeline for each goal.
Oh, a timeline. Okay.
The specific milestones along the way.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That way you can track your progress and you can celebrate those small wins.
Oh, yes. Celebrate the small wins. That's so important.
It keeps you motivated.
Because it's easy to get discouraged.
It is if you're only focused on the end goal. But if you break it down and you celebrate those milestones along the way,
It keeps the momentum going.
it does. It makes it feel more achievable.
And the article also talked about the importance of tracking your progress.
Oh, yeah, you've got to track it.
What do they recommend for that?
Well, they said find a system that works for you.
Okay.
Whether it's a fancy project management software
Uh-huh.
or just a simple spreadsheet.
Or even just like a notebook.
Yeah, anything that works for you.
Just write it down.
The key is to regularly review your progress
Right.
and make adjustments as needed.
So it's not about being rigid.
No,
It's about being adaptable.
exactly.
Yep.
Your business plan is a living document,
Right.
and your resolutions should be too.
They should evolve.
They should, as you learn and grow, you may need to adjust your goals or your strategies.
That's okay.
That's perfectly okay. The important thing is to keep moving forward.
I love that perspective.
Don't be afraid to experiment and try new things.
Now, before we move on, I want to circle back to something we talked about earlier.
Okay.
Self-care.
Yes, self-care.
Because it's so easy to get caught up in achieving those business goals.
It is.
And neglect our own well-being.
We've all been there.
Yeah, and this article really stressed the importance of making self-care a priority.
Absolutely.
What were some of the key points they made about that?
Well, one of the things they emphasized was that self-care is not selfish.
I like that.
It's essential. If you're not taking care of yourself,
Right.
you're not going to be able to show up fully.
For anything.
For your business, for your loved ones, for anyone.
And you're not going to be at your best.
Exactly. So they suggested scheduling time for self-care activities,
Well,
just like you would any other important appointment.
treat it like a meeting with your most important client,
I love that analogy.
yourself.
Yes. You are your most important client.
What were some of the self-care strategies that they recommended?
One thing that really stood out to me was the importance of mindfulness.
Oh, mindfulness.
Yeah, they talked about the benefits of meditation. deep breathing exercises,
Huh?
or even just taking a few minutes each day to disconnect from technology and focus on the present moment.
That can be so hard in today's world.
It can, but it's so important.
Just to give yourself a break
Exactly.
from all the noise and stimulation.
And it can be so rejuvenating.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they also mentioned the importance of, getting enough sleep,
Oh, yeah, sleep is crucial.
eating nutritious foods,
Fueling your body
and moving your body regularly.
exercise is so important.
It is for both physical and mental health.
Absolutely. And don't forget the power of connecting with loved ones.
Well, that's a good one.
Spending time with family and friends,
Yes.
pursuing hobbies, doing things that bring you joy.
Those are all essential components of self-care.
They are. It's all about finding that balance between work and life.
Right.
And making sure that you're taking care of yourself on all levels.
So it's not just physical.
No.
It's mental, emotional, spiritual.
Exactly.
All of it.
All of it is important.
Well, this has been a great discussion so far.
It has.
But there's one more area I want to touch on.
Okay, what's that?
It's this idea of taking care of others.
Oh, interesting.
And I think this might surprise some listeners.
Why is that?
Because the Forbes article actually presented it as a smart business strategy.
Oh, so it's not just about feeling good.
It's not just about warm, fuzzy feelings.
There's actually a business case for it.
There is. They gave some really compelling reasons why small businesses should consider incorporating social responsibility into their strategies.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more. Okay, so doing good is good for business.
It can be. And, it's a concept that's really gaining traction.
It makes sense, though, right?
Yeah, especially, I think, among younger consumers.
Yeah, they really care about that stuff.
Yeah, they want to support businesses that are aligned with their values.
Mm-hmm.
And that includes businesses that are making a positive impact on the world.
So how can small businesses actually put this into practice?
Yeah, what are some tangible things that our listeners can do?
Well, the article had a few suggestions. One was partnering with local charities or nonprofit organizations.
Okay, so like sponsoring an event or something?
Yeah, or donating a portion of your profits.
Okay,
Or offering your products or services at a discounted rate.
that's a great idea.
It's a win-win.
It is, you're giving back to the community and you're also building goodwill
Yeah, exactly.
with potential customers.
And it shows that you care,
It does.
which is huge these days.
What else did they recommend?
They also talked about the benefits of creating a company volunteer program.
Oh, that's a cool idea.
Like giving employees a certain number of paid hours each year
Okay.
to volunteer for a cause they're passionate about.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So not only does it benefit the community,
Right.
but it also can boost employee morale.
Team building.
Exactly. It's a great way to bring people together.
I like, did the article give any examples of businesses doing this successfully?
They highlighted a small brewery that donates a portion of their proceeds to a local environmental organization.
Oh, cool.
And they've actually seen a significant increase in customer loyalty and brand awareness as a result.
Wow, that's great.
So it really does work.
Yeah, it's inspiring.
And it shows that you don't have to be a huge corporation to make a difference.
Right, you can incorporate social responsibility into your business,
Absolutely.
no matter how small.
And it's not just about the bottom line.
Yeah.
It's about creating a company culture
Uh-huh.
that you and your employees can be proud of.
Exactly. And when you're passionate about what you do
Right.
and you're making a positive impact on the world.
It shows.
It's an-
That can be really powerful.
So to wrap things up,
Yeah.
we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have. We've talked about revisiting your business plan, embracing technology,
Building a strong team, mastering marketing.
taking care of yourself, giving back to your community.
It's a lot, but it's all important.
It is. But the key takeaway here is that you don't have to do everything at once.
Right. Choose what resonates with you
Exactly. Focus on the resolutions that are most aligned with your business goals.
and create a plan.
Yeah,
And remember, it's a journey,
it is.
not a destination.
Don't get discouraged if you hit a few bumps along the way.
Exactly. The important thing is to keep learning, keep growing,
And keep striving.
keep striving to be the best version of yourself in your business,
Well said.
and celebrate those wins along the way.
Yes,
Yeah.
big or small. Celebrate every victory.
Well, that brings us to the end of another episode of The Power of Possibility.
I had a great time.
Me too. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe to our channel.
And leave a comment below.
We'd love to hear from you. Let us know which resolution you're most excited to tackle in 2025.
Yeah, what's your big goal for the year?
Until next time, stay curious, stay inspired,
And keep believing.
in the power of possibility.
We'll see you next week.